Hi, friends. I'm going to narrate the story of the Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Nathaniel Hawthorne was an American novelist and short story writer. He lived in the period between 1804 and 1864. The novel, The Scarlet Letter, was published in 1850. The story of the Scarlet Letter is set in the 17th century Puritan Boston, an English settlement in Massachusetts. A strong current of Puritanism was seen there in holding rigid moral beliefs regarding self-indulgence and sex. The story pivots around Hester Prynne, Roger Chillingworth, and Arthur Dimmesdale. Hester Prynne is led out of a prison carrying an infant named Pearl in her arms. A bright red A, the letter A, is embroidered on her chest. A crowd eagerly waits there to see Hester Prynne being forced to climb up a scaffold and stand there for 3 hours in public humiliation for her sin of adultery. Pearl is born as an illegitimate child. It is said that many women are angered by Hester Prynne's beauty and quiet dignity. During the adultery parade, Hester notices among the crowd a small, misshapen man who was her long-lost husband, believed to be lost at the sea. He takes the name Roger Chillingworth and gathers information on her sin. Reverend John Wilson and the minister of her church, Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale, question her on the identity of the child's father, but she refuses to reveal it. She is sent back to the jail with the baby. Roger Chillingworth visits her as a physician to treat the mother and the baby with roots and herbs, though he didn't have any formal medical training. He makes a promise not to reveal his identity as her husband. He vows to find out the culprit. Hester Prynne, with her daughter, is released from the jail after 3 years. She moves to the outskirts of Boston, near the forest, and lives in a cottage, earning her living as a seamstress with her needlework. She leads a quiet, somber life and doing charity to the poor. They are avoided by the people around. Hester Prynne is worried about her daughter's fascination for the bright letter A pinned to her mother's chest. Pearl grows without any friends or playmates. When she grows older, she becomes capricious and unruly. People demand Pearl to be taken away from her mother. Hester pleads with the governor Bellingham. Fortunately, Reverend Wilson and Reverend Dimmesdale are present with the governor. Reverend Dimmesdale pleads with the governor for her. As a result, Pearl is allowed to live with her mother. Reverend Dimmesdale's health fails day by day. Chillingworth stays with him in the role of a physician. He becomes suspicious of Dimmesdale's illness. He makes certain psychological approaches and comes to know that Dimmesdale's heart problem is due to a concealed guilt. He realizes that Dimmesdale is the father of Pearl, born out of wedlock. Dimmesdale indulges in self mortification. Once, when he was asleep, Chillingworth discovers the letter A as a symbol of shame carved on his pale chest. Chillingworth starts his cruel ill treatment and decides to expose Dimmesdale in public. Dimmesdale's health deteriorates more and more under Chillingworth's cruel care. He tortures himself. One night, he mounts the scaffold where Hester stood in shame years before. Hester and Pearl pass by and join him on the scaffold. A meteor lights the sky in the shape of a red A, and Chillingworth is seen standing nearby. Hester pleads with Chillingworth to stop tormenting Dimmesdale, but he is adamant. She then meets Dimmesdale in the forest and requests him to leave Boston and start a new life with them in Europe. He is happy and he agrees. He becomes energetic during those days. They decide to leave after his last sermon. It is, in fact, highly inspiring. The best ever sermon he has given in the church. But Dimmesdale realizes that he is dying. He climbs up the scaffold and asks Hester and Pearl to join him. He confesses his sin to the crowd and bares his chest, revealing a scarlet letter carved into his own skin. He dies as Pearl kisses him for the first time. He dies in Hester's arms. Hester and Pearl leave Boston. After a year, Chillingworth, now having lost his desire to take revenge, dies, leaving Pearl a small fortune as inheritance. Pearl is married and well off. Hester comes back to her old place after many years. She still wears her letter A. She remains in Boston until her death, and she is buried alongside Dimmesdale. Their shared tombstone bears a letter A. Thank you.